Hey Richie, it's Karin. I wanted to give you a quick update on uh, Windows in the Lake and some of the competition for the month of July. Show you kind of how everyone's doing or stacking up. So I have SpyFu here, and this is Windows in the Lake, and this gives me like a kind of a nice graphic history of the increase in organic traffic that has, continued to increase every single month. The keywords continue to go up at 5,442 and 1,500 plus SEO clicks up over 100 since the last period of time. So that's great. That's one of the tabs I like to just show you in a brief overview here. And then SEO research. And so what I have here is going to show the same keywords, and it's showing that the keywords continue to go up over time with all the different work that we're doing. And over the 3-month period, they've gone up. And over the 1-month period, they've gone up. The rank changes have gone up, and the SEO clicks are the same. And it's showing on this tool that the value of the SEO clicks value is about $16,900, which I think is greater than last month. And that's always good to watch. And then I wanted to show you one other thing that is good is just some of these new keywords that are coming up, page one keywords and keywords that just made page one. A lot of new words are coming up in different types of events and halls and that type of thing. Page one keywords, kosher catering near me, Brazilian wedding, Mother's Day brunch. Things are catering venues near me has come up 35 spots. Elegant venues near me, wedding food catering near me, all really good terms. So that's great. Then I'll show you here on SEMrush. SEMrush is a different tool. I just wanted to show you that SEMrush is estimating the value of traffic at $25,300 versus the $16,900 on SpyFu. These tools are sometimes different, but this shows a big pop. So it went up 65.9% in the last month. And that's just saying that the value of the keywords you're getting are higher value than the ones even previously. So that's great news. I want to show you, I think it's Bello Lombardi's is one of the competitors. That's it. Okay, so and compared to the 5,442 keywords, Villa Lombardi's only has 818, and they're getting less than 1/3 the number of clicks each month. So that is impressive, and Windows and Lake is doing it has an impressive delta there, and they've gone up a little bit this month as well. And then let's look at the SEO research here, showing us that the value of their clicks is only $3,000. So depending on which tool we look at, the value is less than 1/4 of what Windows in the Lake is getting. So that's really, really good news. And then I think if I look down here, I'll find that, I don't know for sure. Yeah, but all of the most valuable keywords are all around Lombardi's. So the name Lombardi, so someone already knows Lombardi's when they're looking here. So that's just really briefly there. Then let's try one more competitor just on SpyFu to get a feel for that. I think I can make this go backwards or not. Here. I think Watermill Caterers maybe is the URL.com. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, okay, so this is also one of the main competitors in the market, and it shows that their traffic actually dipped this last month, so they went down. So they only got 1,000 SEO clicks, whereas Windows in the Lake got over 1,500 and had gone up. And the Watermill Caterers has actually gone down, and their keywords are less, well, about half, I guess, or a little more than half of what we have on Windows in the Lake with the different activity that we're doing. And then SEO research. So it's showing that the clicks they're getting are still valuable, but they're only getting $9,000 worth of kind of free SEO from this process. So, yeah, and I think if I look down here, there are keywords They do have a Sweet 16 venues near me, but Watermill, Long Island Wedding. So just a very quick overview. Things are looking good, going in the right direction, and versus the competition, I think that's fantastic. So I thought I'd leave you this video, and if you have any questions, Richie, please let me know. Take care. Bye.
Hey, Lee Wolf here. We are live with TechFace On. It is well, at least where I am, it's a very rainy, dreary Friday. Hope everyone out there is doing well. As always, Mr. Richie Bello is sitting with me here. And today we have the Chief Commercial Officer of Collaborate Pros, Karin Novotny. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Thank you.
Awesome. So today's the broad view of today's show is driving traffic that actually converts to your website, because we know we've seen the huge decline in the validity of third-party leads over the last couple of years. So we brought Karin in here today to talk a little bit about that and bounce back and forth with Richie. But Karin, before we get rolling, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're coming from, how you got here?
Great. Thanks, Lee. And hi, Lee. Hi, Richie. Nice to see you. Yeah, as Lee said, my name is Karin. I am a career salesperson. I started with almost 30 years in sales for construction type companies and sales leadership. So I've led sales forces across the country and down into South America and Canada in different roles. And then the last 10 years, I worked also into the marketing department, and 5 years ago, discovered kind of digital marketing, and have become, really well versed in the ins and outs of digital marketing and how we can help companies kind of show up, and transitioned my career full time into digital marketing a couple of years ago. So that's kind of my history.
Awesome. So, all right. So, Richie, we know that whenever you're whether you already have your business in the digital space or you're bringing a new business into the digital space, it's not about just jumping in and doing SEO immediately or taking any particular step right away. There's an order to things and a mapped out system that we should be following. Domain authority, would that be
Yeah,
that would be
we start with domain authority. You start with your domain, right? Because your domain is like your business. That's like a Walmart, right? So they start with that, and then they build Walmart, right? And then they fix it up. They make the shelves and all that. So your domain is the most important thing, right? Because that is your domain. You dominate that, right? So that's your domain. You start with citations. Well, authority. The next thing is citation. The other thing that's very important to you is how many hashtags are tied into that domain, right? With your social media. How many times is that domain out on your social media? That's another thing that's very, very lucrative, right? So it's a roadmap, right? Then the optimization is key, the SEO optimization, but it's a little bit more than that. You start getting your Google Analytics, you start knowing how to optimize your data to create your site with tremendous speed on that audience, so you know that audience is going to convert, right? So there's a whole different types of steps where it goes. It's like a funnel, right? You bring it down, your authority, your citation, your social media presence, right?
right.
Optimization into Google data, optimization of your audience, because once it knows that that's your audience, you click on it, it's faster. You know what I mean? Google has this technology, right? So it's very important.
And
The
Google, I'm sorry.
The other thing that is extremely important, all right, is when you do all these steps, right, and you have a lot of people want to see, or they want to see the traffic, right? So they go out to these things that say buy website traffic. That's the worst thing you could do for a domain authority, because what it is you're blacklisted then. You start buying 100 and that's it, you're blacklisted. So in today's world, you hire an SEO company, anyone, all right, and you get 5,000 unique visitors, but you don't get any conversion. Well, listen, guys, there's a product out there for every SEO company for you to monitor and inspect them, and it's called Go High Level. Okay, so you put this widget, this AI widget there, and all this says is, could I help you with something? If you have traffic and you have that kind of massive traffic, they're gonna, a percentage of the people are gonna say, yeah, could you help me? Yeah, people want help when they go to your showroom. People want help when they go to your catering hall. People want help when they go to your website, especially if it's a complex thing, right? So when that doesn't convert, you're just getting traffic that's never going to convert, that is just buying traffic, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of companies that do that and show you these numbers. So let's talk about this video that Karin does. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the difference between SpyFu and SEMrush. Okay? SpyFu only gives you the value of traffic, of clicks. SEMrush does a little bit different. SEMrush does that traffic, how much of a conversion did you have? How long did people stay on the site? And where was the exit? That's their technology. SpyFu is just for PPC. Just tells you, okay, this site is so much. So now when you have a business owner that he gets 13,000, let's say like Windows Lake, and I hit them with a budget of $20,000 in ads, that does not work. That means he's going to hit diminishing returns. Right?
Right.
So let's talk about that video, okay? And let's talk about the most important thing. Our SEO goes after the ranking of your competitors. We have videos after videos that Karin's done for months now for Windows on the Lake, and his competitors were leading the pack. Our technology goes after your competitor. As a business owner, I want to go after the ranking of my competitor. Is it easier to me to go after the ranking of your competitor than to build your ranking? The answer is yes. How do we do that? With software, Google Maps, right? And your domain authority and your citation. So now your competitor does not know how to do this. And now it goes after his ranking, because if you have good SEO, like right now, Windows on the Lake has really good SEO. He stops that SEO. Now his competitors jump right ahead. SEO is something you have to consistently do. It doesn't stay there forever like what people do.
It's never changing, right?
It doesn't. Because if you don't keep optimizing it and you don't keep monitoring and you don't keep doing what you're doing, your SEO is going to deplete, and now it's open season for the next guy to eat it. Right? That's what it is. Ooh, let me go after this now, right? So that's what happens. The other thing that video showed us is the ranking. The ranking. Now, why is ranking important? Ranking is a word that puts you in front of your in-market customers, which means weddings, bing, 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 weddings near me, Long Island wedding venued, Long Island wedding venued, right? Catering halls in Long Island, Sweet 16s. It makes me, the end user, key that keyword and then you come up first. That's ranking. Do you want ranking? Absolutely. And when you're getting the ranking of your competitors, you're doing good. Since I've been in the B2B sector, and I've been in the B2B sector probably since 27 or 28, maybe close to 30, long time. I've always said, Mr. Dealer, you never want to have something that you can buy that your competitor has, because now that's going to cost you revenue. It's like this. You want to know how rich you are? Show me what you own that money can buy. That tells me how rich you are. Okay? Once you attach that money can buy it, nobody's rich. Because anybody can go away with money. But show me something that I go after your competitors and bring your ranking up and your Google map. And let's address something with Google Map. Let's go back to history. Google Map is nothing more than a business community. That's what it is. Google tried to have their business community that was called Google Plus. That ended. And then when that ended, they says, you know what? We're just going to have like a LinkedIn thing. Here's our community, right? And now they allow blogs. That makes it a community. Now they allow videos, and now they allow pictures. So everybody's on social media. Everybody's everywhere, but the business people don't understand that Google My Business is nothing more than a community. So if you're not attacking that, and your competitor is, that's going to put them that's going to put you at a disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah, and Google Maps just had a, and maybe I'll direct this at first at Karin. Feels like there's kind of like a misconception out there with Google Maps where businesses just feel, I just have to sign up with Google and I just have to make sure that I get listed somewhere on Google Maps. What's the difference between that thought process and what goes behind the SEO process?
Well, yeah, thanks for asking that question and asking it in that way, Lee. Like, one thing that Richie touched on is that, and he said this in a couple different ways, but every website and every Google Maps is different. So one of the things you have to do as you're approaching a customer is really look at it as a unique situation. So that's why Richie's touching on the fact that we're looking at the competitors and what's happening in the market. And Google loves Google. So what Google would like to see on your business is that you're constantly engaged in your Google Map. And you do that a variety of ways, as Richie mentioned, adding photos, there's writing blogs, but also understanding exactly how the website and the Google Maps interlink. And that happens via the citations that Richie touched on. So when we approach an account now, is we take it as an individual account. We look at where is the customer at? Where are the competitors? What are they doing on the maps? How are they engaged on their maps? And we develop a market plan around transactional terms. So people can show up for a lot of terms, but if you're not showing up for a term on your maps or on your website that customers are actually searching for, they have money in their pocket, they want to spend it, then it's deleterious to the overall result in the end. So we really focus on that transactional side.
Okay. Awesome. I think your video's frozen at the moment, but I'm sure it'll bounce back. All right. And actually, out of curiosity, Richie, with your extensive background in automotive, why wouldn't you be bringing the SEO game into that realm more often?
I'm glad you brought that up, Lee. The automotive sector is a little bit, when it comes to SEO, it's a little bit touchy. There's companies that do it, like SEO. It's called SEO Wiki. or something. But I wanted to make sure that for the last couple of years, we've been testing this type of software and this type of process in other industries. Okay.
Right.
So when they get their website done with these companies, there's an SEO package, but that SEO package is not, I don't consider that an SEO package. What I consider that is just local directories, because a dealership needs to be locally to directories. That's all it is, right?
Right.
There's no ranking or no nothing. That's why when you search a car near me or something, the only thing that comes up is your Google. And if that person that has the Google map knows SEO on Google, he's always going to come up, right? Using Google My Business. So there's no keywords. When I run dealerships, and they're not dominating any keywords. Nothing. And I don't know who they're using or what they're using. What we do is we go after that competitive market and we make you a marketplace, Mr. Dealer. Okay.
Right.
With all these different technologies that we have. Now, why is it important for your entire staff to use directions on your Google Maps? So let's say I work for ABC Motors.
Right.
And I go to directions and I use it every day when I go, whether I need it or I don't need it. Why is that important?
Mm-hmm.
That's called something optimization. The more people that use your directions, your GPS, Google loves that. Your optimization gets greater and greater and greater and greater. So then when you hire a company like ours, then you're able to really see the benefit.
Right. Right.
Now Google knows, like what Karin says, Google loves Google. Google loves when the end user starts using their product more and more and more. So your numbers increase, and you have regular dealership has 60 employees. Imagine 60 employees using every day their Google Maps. Your optimization blows up. Okay.
Yeah.
Because right from Jump Street, that's how many people you have. A lot of these websites have the direction right on their website. I would get the link of Google's GPS and put it there, because now you're optimizing that map. You're optimizing your own place. Everybody talks about social media optimization, this, that, all that. Well, Google My Business is a community for business people. And we're not talking about their optimization.
Right.
The other thing is we have this Google Map thing that's keywords, and you dominate 7 keywords.
Right.
Every month. It's basically SEO of your Google Maps. So there's a whole different thing today that was not existing a couple of maybe year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yep.
And it's existing now. The other thing is when you go to YouTube and you search through SpyFu, what are one of the top keywords on YouTube is related to SEO? 2024 SEO core. You got to do is look at it, see how many times it's changed.
Right.
So these are all things that are happening. And talking about Google Maps, somebody uses Google Maps for directions. That device is on there. Now you go to geofencing, and now you reach out to that customer. So let's say you have a dealership has an appointment, right, with a customer. That customer comes in and doesn't buy. That customer takes his cell phone, drives to the next dealership. You tie in your geofencing. They put the device there on the table. Boom, they get a notification about the store they just visit with a sale.
Right. Wow.
Don't miss our sale. It's only up to 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night or whatever it is. And if you have missed it, call us.
Right. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. Why? Because Google is offering you directions for free. So that means you're the product. If Google would charge you for that, they wouldn't be that data out there like that.
Right.
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 So it's about retargeting your clients that
Right.
you had and you lost them.
Yeah.
You have to take what's out there today to try to grow your business.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is when you have your Google map, I call it synchronized,
Mm-hmm.
synchronized with your website, right?
Right.
Whatever search you do on Google, your Google Maps comes, and then because your website has the same thing together, now your website come. Even if the others maps are there, but they don't have a website that comes, they customers know, okay, this is good. You know, that's how they do it. It's a
Right.
whole research behavior that makes them click and makes them fill out a form.
Right.
That's what we know how to do very well. Karin has mastered that with her team and all that. And, you know, it's a really important thing that they do.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
And
We're
synchronicity.
glad to be their partners. We've been a partner since they started, and we really value our relationship with them. But more important, the knowledge base that together they have, it's unbelievable how they really, really know from the automation sector into the Google Maps SEO down to dominating your website in your marketplace and going after your competitors.
right.
Because at the end of the day, when you're picking up the search from your competitors, you're winning, guys.
Right. Yeah. And actually, Karin, I don't know if you got my texts, but you could jump out of the studio and come back in through the link, and I'll let you back in. Just in case that resets your video, maybe.
Yeah.
So and so Richie, let's say they get their domain authority up, they got their citations going, they got their mapping up to par, SEO is flying. Now you start driving traffic in with pay per click. What kind of closing ratios have you been seeing out there in the market?
Let's talk about this. When you start doing it the right way and you have Go High Level on your website, you have the text back and forth, the SMS text. You have your website right like we wanted. You look anywhere from 25 to 35% conversion. Now that conversion doesn't mean much because you haven't made any money yet. Okay.
Right.
A customer can be, okay, I'm at 40%, Richie. Great. I'm getting leads. Now I know I'm getting leads. Conversion from website to conversion from that customer showing up and selling is two different animals. Our conversion in different industries, in the medical industry, is pretty good. In the really, really good. In the catering industry is really, really good. And in the roofing industry is really, really good. Here's the thing, what we've learned, the ones that are not good, I'm a salesperson, okay? I spin like everybody else, okay? Very hard to just stay focused on one thing when you're in sales, right? So we have a lot of clients that spin because they're great salespeople, so we have a product for that. We have what you call the focus and determination and learn how to execute more. We have virtual assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is when we have a customer, we find out you got all these leads, you're not selling. We tap in this virtual assistant, bang, they right away take off.
Right.
It keeps them focused. The sale part is the issue, and not on the leads you got. Has to do more with an internal process. Why? You make the appointment. Let's talk about it. You got 100 leads, Lee. So I have this performance with people. You got 100 leads, Lee. How many appointments showed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many appointments did you make? Richie, I made 70%, 70, right? At 100. Okay. How many showed? 25. And you're done. You got a problem. I don't go tell people, hey, listen, with the leads I gave you, how many did you sell? Because if you're not in front of people, you're not going to sell anybody. If I ain't in front of people, who am I going to sell? I can't sell the wall. I can't sell trees, right? I have to be in front of opportunities.
Right.
Or in front of somebody that's not even an opportunity, that I'll make an opportunity. Okay? So that's what the issue is. If you have a 25% appointment showed, if that customer comes in, what are you going to get? So you got 25% showed, which is out of 70, what is it, 30? Let's say 30 or 20. Let's say 25. 25. If you're a strong closer, strong, say you're at 50%. Out of 25, what did you sell? 7.5 leads, a 10?
Right.
Where are you going?
Right. Right.
Where are you going? Then out of those 10 leads that you got a deposit for, doesn't mean that that it's done, right?
Right.
So
yeah, and we got to be clear for the audience too that we're not talking about third-party leads here that are shared with multiple sources.
Right.
You're talking about traffic that is directly driven to your website. They find you, they're interested in you, they're setting up an appointment with you. Yeah.
And what I've noticed is, that being said, when that traffic comes in, they're already sold on your brand. Now, when they give you a form, they really want to do business with you.
Right.
Somebody gives you a form or sends you a message, they really want to do business with you. Now it's up to your people to get on that phone or SMS or automated, however you want to call it, and get that customer in the door.
Right.
And they're not doing a good job with that. They're doing a very good job selling when that customer shows up. I've noticed that they're having a hard time selling the appointment. Why? Simple. It ain't even hard to figure out. A wedding comes in. What's the price? How many people you have? 150. What's the price?
Right.
$40,000. What? Instead of our price average is anywhere from 85 to 110 a person, depending on the menu. But you know what? At this time of year, I know what happens here. We've never lost a deal over price. Don't you think that just that curiosity that I planted on that customer's head is going to get that customer in the door?
Right.
As that's about 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 30,000 is a lot of money because they don't understand that there's 150 people. They don't understand there's limos, there's flowers, there's all these things. There's a package.
Right.
You tell somebody 78 to 110.
Right.
But at this time of year, let me tell you from my experience, my boss has never lost a deal over price. I guarantee you that if they do that, instead of 35% show, you're a 90% show.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that fills out a form or calls, what they're looking for is what's the price. That's what they're looking for. That's the information they want.
Right.
Now you have to convert that into selling an appointment. Right? And that's where the issue is. That's really where the issue is. That's what's difficult about the online e-commerce business, right? That there's nobody selling that, right? And the worst thing for the e-commerce business, the worst thing is they're selling a vitamin, all right? How do I get a higher conversion selling that vitamin? Well, it's real simple. Put a video explaining what that vitamin's going to do for them.
Right.
And
Education.
watch your conversion go crazy. You don't have anything like that. It's just a vitamin, a beautiful picture with a nice brand, with a nice bottle. What am I buying? The bottle? The bottle? You know?
Right.
I see e-commerce sites after e-commerce sites like that, and I see their traffic converting maybe 0.5%, maybe. And then they say, well, it's the ads, well, it's this, well, it's that. Really? You just have a picture of a bottle, not explaining the benefit and the feature of what is in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference, you know, and that's what happens. What you have to explain to people and identify to them stuff. So the e-commerce business, the ones that are very successful, have a video and have that FQ, whatever it's called, the fax thing. So you need information for that consumer to make an intelligent decision, especially today.
Yeah.
So
that's what used to sell me when I was a kid, and I'd be sitting up all night long watching infomercials.
Right.
There was no one in my house telling me anything, but I was watching the Set It and Forget It and the DD7s and the cleaning product,
right.
the steaming machines, and I would always end up buying one of them, you know, after I saw that video 6 times in a row. Yeah.
Go to any e-commerce site, exclude Amazon. None of them. None of them, even in the medical field, even in the health field, whatever field you want, none of them have a video explaining to you the product. But they got 12 pictures or 13 pictures. Really? And then I get these same customers with Clickable that tell me, hey, Richie, we're not converting. Well, there's no story for you to convert.
Right. Well, that's why with Amazon, when I go to buy a product now, I go into the reviews and I watch the videos that the people that bought the product.
Right.
I watch their videos to go, okay, that's in that person's house. This is real, you know, and I see them use the product, and a lot of them will actually review the product.
A few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we had a customer with massage chairs, right? They had the worst conversion, 0.5%. They had 4 or 5 different massage chairs. We told them do a video, and they went out, explanatory videos. They did it for that brand. It right away converted like a lot, because that's what people want to see. People don't want to see. People want to see, what is it going to do for me?
Yeah.
What is that going to do for me? Who wants to see like a picture, 12 images, and content of what it could? People don't even read half of the content. You have a video attached to it explaining to them in a graphic what it's going to do to their body. Man, your conversion is going to go way up. Just like when you get on the phone and tell a customer, we've never lost a deal over price at this time of year. It doesn't matter what time of year they're calling you. The whole thing is at any time of year. And the truth is that nobody loses a deal over price.
Right.
I don't know anybody in business that'll lose a deal over a competitive price. Nobody. And you're not telling them a lie, and it's not a story. It's really, I mean, you bring one of the catering halls, this is the offer, $90 a head, they're taking that all day.
Right.
He's supposed to be selling that for 130. Who's gonna say no to do you know anybody that says no to money?
Put that on around me.
Listen, when I used to follow people up
Mhm.
and I left messages and messages, I wouldn't get a phone call back. When I used to tell them, we have a check here. I need you to call me with your address so I can mail you a check. It's a check of a rebate. The phone, as soon as I hung up, they used to call right away.
Right.
I never know anybody that says no to money
Yeah.
that I know of. So, but you gotta explain it to the customer, and that's the whole thing with a lot of these e-commerce sites and all that. Everybody wants to sell online and all that, okay, but you have to set it up for you to sell online.
Right.
Because if it's not set up right, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
And setting it up right, and you're taking a risk. Because understand, you're not in control of that customer. That customer's not coming into your store.
Right.
But at least they have the whole explanation, and they might put a comment there, need more information,
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, anything else, Karin, before we wrap up here that you'd like to add about the process or?
I'd just like to say, Richie's touching on overall a very important piece, and it's right at you is that, like I said earlier, it's really each individual customer requires the right type of understanding of what their business situation is and what their needs are. And, SEO, yes, I can have someone show up for a search term, and get them on the maps for a search term, but understanding what happens through the entire process and working with a company that has the resources, the software, and the ability to bring it all together and do the types of audits you need to do with Google today. And again, Richie said this earlier, and I think you said it too, is that Google's constantly changing. So you cannot be static. You can't have a system that's just like, and many SEO companies do, they just have a system that doesn't take into consideration all of these subtleties. And so really having the right partnership and people with the right understanding makes all the difference in the world. Your website, it's one of your biggest assets. If you were to sell your business, you want one of the first things a wise buyer is going to ask is, what does your organic traffic look like? What is your conversion rate? All of those things are important. So I think that's the way that we as a team approach this. And when I say the team, I mean our partnership with Richie and what we do with Clickable and the ads, they all work together. And if that's done right, your cost per click will go down, your conversion rate will go up if you're using tools such as Go High Level. So it's really more of a holistic approach to what is it you're trying to accomplish and where are you today and how are we going to get you to where you want to be. And I think that's what works the best, is it just really taking a personal approach and really focusing on transactional terms that are going to pay, that are going to convert and capture those customers that are looking to buy. And that's our main focus. It's really not about just keywords. It's really about the entire process.
Yeah, that's a whole world. Yeah, that's what few blogs that I've written and conversations that I've had, I always say the same thing. SEO isn't only about keywords and blogs.
Absolutely. And maps and citations, Richie mentioned at the very beginning, Google's looking to make sure that they understand exactly what your business is, what you do, and where you do it. So there's certain things, I won't give you all the secret sauce, that you can do on the maps to even enhance the results in areas that you want to work. So if you're in construction and you want to build in this market where there's higher end, like custom homes going in, for example, there are things you can do on your maps, and there are things we do with SEO and working in conjunction with PPC to enhance you to be able to maybe start to pick and choose which customers you want to work with, and not just have to accept every lead that comes in, but get really good at it. And that's the ultimate goal.
Awesome. All right. Well, Richie, as always,
thank you.
I thank you every show for having me next to you by your side. And Karin, it was great having you here today. A wealth of knowledge. Thank you very much.
Karin, thank you so much for joining us. I really, really so happy about our partnership that it's great.
Yeah, I value both of you, and I value all the customers that we've built up together. It's really appreciated. So thanks again today.
Thank you.
And always.
and that's Collaborate Pros. And for any more information, if anyone wants to reach out, we're at info@whitedovebird.com. And everyone have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Bye-bye.